I've used a clacker, you two have got the issue. How do you start a podcast that's being videoed?
Like this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Brilliant. Well, Elson's excited.
Yeah, I'm going to need a napkin. Hi. Thank you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to, as I'm sure you can see, well, you might not be able to see. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see. If you're not watching on YouTube, I don't very often do this, but I highly recommend you go and watch the YouTube version for this episode. This is a very, very special. I don't know where to look. Which one's my camera?
Red one.
It's that
Red dot.
They're all red dots.
That red dot.
This is a very special episode of Wargamers Anonymous. As you can see, we are in an amazing setup, quite frankly. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Recordlig, by Doombar, by Guinness, and by £60,000 worth of equipment. Basically, so that me and Elston can talk absolute nonsense. That's nonsense. Not the other word. Yes. So welcome to Wargamers Anonymous. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoy the show, leave us a like down below. Leave us a review if you are listening on any of the podcasting platforms. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about this. Please don't get used to it. It is not going to be a regular thing. It's a very one-time thing because we happen to be in the same place together. And this is just what happens, apparently.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you very much. Elston, how are you?
Hi. Where do I look?
Yeah, where's Elston's camera? Is that one?
It's that one. It's that one over there. There's also that one there.
That's all of us.
If I lean this way,
do I
go into
Camera one.
Hi.
Camera two.
Hi.
Camera one.
Hi.
Camera two.
Hi.
So this is Elston.
Hi.
And we're joined again by our first returning guest. And also, he was our first guest. He's just a man of many firsts. Someone would say he is number one.
Yes. The first.
The very own moderator of the Pickle Jar, Boffnet.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you very much.
That's all right. No worries.
No.
You all right?
Welcome. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
This is weird. We're supposed to welcome him on the podcast, but he's actually welcoming
us to this place.
In this place. And our lovely,
that's us. That's our logo with hairs and lights and massive. This is crazy.
I'm massive for once.
Yes. Although you're still shorter than me.
No, my forehead is larger than your.
My hair is at least the same height as you by itself.
Not in the picture,
but in real life.
In real life, if your hair counts, then
my hair counts.
It's just unfair.
According
for people
to
like
90% of my YouTube comments, my hair absolutely counts. So today we're doing a bit of a different episode. We have put out a call on my Instagram, on my Discord. That's it. I felt like there were more places. I
just thought there was more social media.
No. So we're doing a little bit of a different episode. We're going to do a bit of a Q&A. We're all going to answer the questions that you guys are asking. Before we get on to doing that, it's just the catch-up time. This is the start of the podcast where we catch up with each other, where we do all the questions as if this is the first time we've talked to each other today and we've not been together for the last couple of hours. Elston, how are you? What have you been up to?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm all right. Cool. That were a good conversation. Well done. Brilliant podcasting material.
Should we do it with Boffnet as well?
Yeah. I got distracted by the screen. I thought it wasn't recording for a second.
It's like, ooh, shiny lights.
I'm very nice. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Yes, very good. Yep. So my own hangover is slowly going away now.
Yeah. Working on tomorrow's hangover.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was good.
Yeah.
You don't want to fall behind.
Nice.
That's the thing.
No,
absolutely. You want to keep it topped
Got
up.
to keep it fresh.
In the family.
Keep it running.
So you've been up to anything interesting today?
Well, hobby-wise, I've had a game today.
Have you?
I have.
What a surprise!
I know. I had a game with you.
Yeah. Me and Boffnet had a game today. How did that go?
Well, I came third.
Out of two people.
Yep. Because Warhammer was the ultimate winner, obviously.
Yes. The real fun is the friends we made along the way.
Absolutely. Because for those of you who don't know, listening on a podcast, and it may be in the past now, Josh has got a tournament coming up in 2 weeks.
This podcast will be out on Monday.
Yeah, but people might be listening in the future still.
Yeah, future past time travel.
Future,
If you are listening in the future, let me know how it is. Leave us a comment.
Mind your hover car.
Yeah, let us know if they've invented hover cars yet, and if we are wearing our pockets inside out yet. So yeah, me and Boffnet had a game today.
Yep.
I'm using my Necrons, which is no surprise. Boffnet's using Guard, which is no surprise. It was good. I am in preparation for a tournament that I'm going to in a couple of weeks with some other YouTube people, some content creators. I'm very nervous about it because I don't really do competitive gaming. So this weekend, playing against Boffnet, playing against Elston. Pardon me, to get some practice in. It was a good game. I've had fun.
It was.
Not just because I won.
No, not just because you won. It was close up until the fourth round.
Yeah,
to be honest,
it was fairly close. I think I was just edging ahead because I got an early objective.
Yeah, and I started losing a lot of models very quickly, which was a bit of an issue. Basically, my entire 3 infantry units got taken out in one shooting round. Well, 2 of them in one shooting round.
Yeah, 2 of them in one shooting round.
One survived on another couple of rounds.
It only survived a couple of rounds because I didn't shoot it.
Yeah. Yeah, Guard are very squishy.
Yeah.
And when you've got Necrons rolling 20 to 30 dice at 2s to hit with -3 APs and stuff like that, it's never going to last long, really. Tanks were good.
Wait for the Nids.
Yes,
That's going to be fun.
I'll take on the Nids. That's fine. How many models are in your army? If you do an elite army?
Probably about 15.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 45, wasn't I? 45 models.
You were 44.
44.
I'm 50. I was 55.
That's it. So for
We had
1,000...
99 problems on the table.
Yep.
But having fun with friends was not one.
And denying the witch was not one.
No.
Yeah, 90,000 point game, 99 models.
Yeah, shit, you do psychic stuff.
You wait for that.
I don't want
I'm
We don't do psychic. When I play 40k, there are no psychic.
There's psychic. You're
I
going to
play
feel
Necrons,
psychic.
I play Dark Eldar.
Yeah,
no psychic from me.
The command phases were just nothing in this game, basically. We were just like... Meh.
It was just me going, I'm going to do that thing again.
Yeah. It's a different
So
story
yeah,
tomorrow.
It was good. It was very good.
So me and Boffnet have spent... I said most of the day. The afternoon onwards together, Elston arrived a bit later on because Elston is a big boy and had work.
I have to do work things.
Is that the first time you've ever been referred to as a big boy?
Twice before.
He remembers. It was 1976.
By a woman, I like to state.
Was it when you fell over and she was rubbing your knee and telling you you're a big
He's
boy?
a big boy.
Don't talk about that incident. Hey.
So the normal thing that we ask at the start of the podcast is, what have we been doing hobby-wise? So since, the last episode that went out was last week, because it was the interview, but the last time that we actually recorded was 2 weeks ago. So what have you been up to in the last 2 weeks?
I've been painting out for Legion still.
Ooh.
It's grinding a bit now. I'm in the grinding phase of like, this needs to be done.
So you're not fapping anymore, you're grinding.
Oh, I'm fapping. I'm grinding fapping.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost painful fapping.
I shouldn't have reminded you.
What's it like in person?
Even worse.
It's going to get worse.
Yeah, it will, yeah.
I'm at the stage now where, to be honest, it's becoming a bit of a chore, and I want them done. So I am looking at like how to cheat myself into thinking that I'm making a lot more progress, because at the moment it's like panel lining, doing eye lenses and weathering effects, and weathering usually sounds fun, but when you're doing it over like 140 models, it's not so much fun.
Well, normal people don't do it over.
No, I know normal people
it's just
don't.
Elston people.
People do. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, what's the way for me to get ahead and make this army look a bit more complete? And the idea is bases. And I'm looking at all of them. I'm going to snap
do
all
the bases before.
Snap off all the bases, do all the bases, paint them, plug them back on, and then finish.
It's all about the base.
Sounds like heresy to me.
All about the base.
All about the base.
What have you been up to for the last couple of weeks, hobby-wise?
Hobby-wise, I'm slowly getting back into it because of that W word, which is horrendous. But I've been starting on my Nighthaunt army.
Ooh, very nice.
So that's been good with my white colour scheme. Red Nighthaunts with white stirry stuff like that, pretty much. No, it's still
Monochromatic?
Still 4 layers on the white. Because I'm sort of washing and apothecary and highlighting and dry brushing and crap. So that's the start of that army. Obviously, I did Colonel Dillon, who was outstanding today. The Catachan.
He was left standing.
Oh, was that the last guy?
Yeah, that was him on his own.
Yeah,
he taking on the.
He got owned.
Yeah.
Sorry, he might have done valiant effort. But from what I came in,
To be fair,
I came in and
the shooting attack that you saw was the first time I shot at him. So
okay.
he only survived the rest of the game because he didn't get attacked.
To be fair, actually, he did. He tanked that round.
He did
shooting.
take a lot of shots.
He made
on
7
the chin.
saves in 1 round.
Yeah,
That was
which is
impressive.
7 4-up saves as well.
Yes.
Not just 7 saves.
And they got clubbed to death by robots.
Yeah, he just got stabbed in the eye with the spiky bit on the end of it. Myself, hobby-wise, the last couple of weeks, I have obviously I put out the video on the new Green Stuff World. What are they called? Dipping inks, not
Dipping
contrast
inks.
inks. Dipping inks. They sent me half the range over. Did a review on those. They were actually really nice, and the amount you get in the bottles, the size of the bottles, is ridiculous.
If you abbreviate the 2 words into one,
Dinks.
Sinks.
Green Stuff World Dinks. Trademark. So yes, I did a video on those. What I done?
I done this.
Don't bang the tip.
I'm so sorry.
Roger, will they pick that up?
Yep.
For £4,000,
noise.
you'd think not.
Well, it's still noise.
I know,
It's
but
noise,
You should recognise that it's not a voice.
We can just put a gate on it. Yep, that's it.
So yes, I've done those. I picked up a load of grots, like not properly, just to test out the paints. That was fun. It's always nice trying new paints. What else have I been doing? I think I've just finished a few things off. I finished off my Noise Marine. I don't think I'd finished that on the last episode.
No.
So I finished my Noise Marine. I've done the stuff that I'd done with work, which I'd mentioned briefly, but I'd not mentioned specific. So I did all my Alpha Legion stuff, the tiny scale stuff.
Yes.
Most of which I'm not going to talk about, but I want to talk about the Titan because
Yes.
that was really fun. The Titanicus,
Warhound Titan.
Adeptus Titanicus.
That's the
Titan.
one. That's the one.
That is the one. Isn't it?
Yes,
It's
it
the
is.
Warhound Titan, which that was really fun to paint. I used the Twin Suns Turbo Dog paint. It's hard to show on camera and on photos, but it's got like a real nice sort of green-blue tint. It's a very, very nice paint. And I've just been bits and pieces of other stuff, really.
Slap any of your dink onto the...
I didn't slap any dink on that because I'd already painted that before I received the dink.
Got you.
Hopefully I'm getting more dink at some point soon.
So we can expect more videos of your dinks.
Maybe, yeah.
Cool.
I didn't even have to do this one. This is amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. So
that is well. You say a lot of things about work, so when you say about work, I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, which, yeah. So I always worry about what I can talk about as well because you tell me some things about work which I'm not supposed to talk
you
about.
guys into secrets. We've done a lot of cool stuff. We have done a lot of cool stuff with work. But I've not. To be fair, what have I painted for work? I did paint so I painted up a model. Now, whether we're going to end up using it or not, I don't know. The idea was we were going to do a non-metallic metal video.
Right,
Now,
you and Luke.
Yeah, exactly. That was the joke. So we were going to do like sort of, people that don't do non-metallic metal having a go at non-metallic metal. Now we might still end up doing it. I don't know.
Because the first time you tried it was when I dared you to do it.
The first time I tried it was you that dared me when I was doing the stream.
Yeah, the
And
Punisher.
I did it on the Punisher.
Yeah.
So that's the first time I tried it. I then tried it again on an elf from Atlantis.
Yes, I saw that.
I did
that
the
was quite
green non-metallic metal on her armor. That I'm actually quite happy with how that turned out.
it's very nice.
But yeah, we were going to have a go at it. So I did paint up a model, 3D printed a model from, I think it was from Loot, a 52mm scale one, of a cool woman. She got like a big wrench and stuff, and she's like a bit steampunky.
Okay.
I painted all of her up apart from the metal bits, and then we didn't record that video. So I have done other painting for work. It's just not been used yet. I mean, it might not do. I don't know. I don't know if we're still doing that or not.
I'm curious if you paint as much as I do now, but just for work.
No. No, I do. Because I paint little bits and pieces, and it's usually stuff that Luke don't want to paint. So like airbrushing stuff, because I don't. To be fair, I don't let Luke use the airbrush.
Yeah, he is messy.
Yeah.
After his last video about messy painting, I was like,
You should see the state of his brushes.
yeah, and like he's talking about batch painting and how to do batch painting, and I'm like,
What Luke really needs is a paintbrush cleaner.
I'll give,
or just to wash his brushes.
Yeah,
I'll give Luke his due though. Because like when he was doing that, when we were recording that video, I was looking, and I'm like, What are you doing? Because it's not how I paint.
Yeah,
It's generally not how I paint, and like I class speed painting. Like if I can get a unit done in a day, like that's quick for me for how I paint. But like when it all come together, and he did the dry brushing and did the washing and stuff, like it does look good. And the thing is, I think he says it in the video. It's not about the individual model; it's about the army as a whole. Looking at it like that.
Yeah,
it's just a different way to approach it.
It's a very different mindset as well if you think about the army composition as well. Because like with the Alpha Legion as well, when I've been doing them, they're all the same color. If you look at them from afar, it's like a load of shiny blue beetles.
Yeah,
and you're like, there's nothing really. I can't really tell what's going on. Like, I can't tell who's got what weapon or anything like that. So you have to start like adding things into it, which just make it like a little bit disconnect from the rest of it. So it's like a weird thing. You only really notice it once you see an army together. Yeah, and it's everyone else that does squad by squad by squad. They're like, "This squad is amazing." The squad, I was like, put it all together and see what it looks like, and then they'll be like, or they, to be fair, they might be like, "Oh, this is super cool," but they might be like, "This looks a bit samey, same." Or same.
Cool. One of the things I've done is I've painted sort of large armies, but haven't put squad markings and stuff like that on them because I want to get the army as a piece together. Certainly with Marines and Stormcast and the Guard. So once I've got it, it's never finished. But into a state where it's okay. Actually, I've now got something cohesive. Yeah. I'm then going to go back and put on the numbers and markings and stuff like that to actually start identifying stuff.
I find that's very situational because the reason being rules change things. As much as we don't really want rules to be a factor, we're like, yeah, but now they're rubbish, so I don't ever want to use them. So rules are a thing, and that can be very situational. Be like, this gun is now good, or this gun is now bad, and you're like, oh.
I mean, I had the same approach with my salamanders. Like the idea was, once the army was done, I would just because I don't really do transfers. No. I've tried a couple of times. I know there's easy ways to do it before you start.
It's the most easy thing in the world.
Listen, I've tried a few times, and I never seem to get them to go right. So I just went, you know what? I'm not doing them. And then once the army is done, once I've got a list, then I will go through and I will just spend a day and I'll just go through and do all the...
ChillCon. I'm going to teach you how to do transfers.
I'm not bringing anything to put transfers on.
No, I will show you how I do transfers. I will show you how quick and easy it is.
Listen, I am going to entertain. I am not going to learn.
You will learn from me, boy.
You will learn from the master.
Yeah, boy. You'll come to ChillCon and my hobby clinic.
Right, anyway.
First thing you've got to do is carry water up 200 steps.
Yeah.
That's enough of what we've been working on before Elston gets too carried away. So the main topic for this episode, so basically, we just sort of met up and went, what are we talking about on the podcast? And I went, I don't know. We haven't picked a topic. So what we've done is we've been very lazy and we've asked you guys for the topic instead. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're going to answer a load of questions that people have asked on Instagram, people have asked on Discord. If you're not following...
That was a video.
Pardon.
I thought I was looking up the questions and a video popped up instead.
If you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram and you'll be notified of this sort of stuff when I post it on my story. If you're not on the Discord, come and join us on Discord. There's a link in the description, and then you'll be able to take part in stuff like this as and when it happens. So,
if I do this, am I in pickle shot?
Probably.
Hi. Get in your own camera.
I mean, we could just edit.
That's fine. I just wanted to throw that spam.
So we've got a few different questions. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to keep checking as we go through.
Hand in your shot.
It's just like.
Yeah. So we've got a few questions. So let me.
Question time was also done on this stage once.
So the first question that we've been asked is from, I'm going to butcher these names as well, by the way. So this is from Cavalario de Charco on Instagram. Has asked, and I'm going to pass this one to Elston because I know that you have. I know that me and Bofnet haven't.
Oh,
so have you ever played a Song of Ice and Fire miniatures game? And what do you think about it?
I do. I have. ASOIAF.
Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, the weird. If you ever try and type it into Google, you're like,
Google say, did you mean a chew?
Yeah. You're like, this isn't a quick, easy, like, it's just annoying to say. Anyway, the game, when I first got into it, was awesome. It's a lovely game. Very much like what I really like about a New Heresy game is there's a lot of interaction during your opponent's turn.
Like interrupts and stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of it's half a board game, half a card game.
Right.
At the same time. So if someone does something, you can play a card to counter it or something to that effect. And it is, and people might hurt me for this, it's a meta game. You can meta the maths out of this thing. Sometimes it'll go wrong, but a lot of the times, if you can work out the mathematics on how this works and also work out what cards they've got versus what cards you've got, it's very much a case of like, okay, I can play this to be. There's another mechanic in it which is wonderful, is the NCUs. I don't know what that stands for, NCUs. But basically, there is a board along the side of the board.
Non-combat units.
Possibly. That sounds about right. Let's go with that. Non-combat units. They and there are 5 slots.
Slots.
Slots
Giggity.
on here.
Yep.
Where you can place an NCU onto the slot, and that slot will then activate something on the board. So, for example, it might be the horses. So if you place someone on the NCU onto the horses, a unit can get a free move.
Right.
So it's a relatively simple, and that's what I like about it. It's a simple, you move, you attack. That's it. There's no other mechanics to it. You move, you attack. Everything else is in the special rules and stuff like that. So if you attack, when you charge, you do this. X, Y, Z. Blah, blah, blah. But every single unit has a special ability as well. And this is where the metagame of it, and you get sucked into it so quickly that it's such an enjoyable thing. The monstrous downside, and I mean this, and to the point where I don't play this game anymore, is they change the rules once every 2 to 3 months.
Oh, wow. And like drastically as well.
Yeah. To the point where one army can be good, one army's bad. So I know GW does it and stuff like that. And to be fair, that's why I don't really bother with 40k right now. Because it seems like every 3 months, everything's changing. And they did it with this. The other monstrous downside, which partners up with it, is their shipping and distribution is atrocious. If you want a unit, you might be waiting 6 months for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like sometimes a year.
Who does it?
Asmodee.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes. Yeah. Like Games Workshop, yeah, you might wait a month. Everyone that bitches at Games Workshop, right. Here's the truth for you.
Oh, God.
People don't bitch at Games Workshop.
Right?
Well, I've never heard anyone say
Games
anything bad
Workshop's
about Games
ruining
Workshop.
everything. They're rubbish at gardening. Like, they are 100 times better than most of the other small companies out there with restock issues. They are on top of it. They are quick to respond, and they do stuff compared to the others. And I can say this from playing other games. Games Workshop are quick to get it back into your hands. And I think that's a really good thing. It's also a really capitalistic thing because obviously they want to make money. So you spend money, that's all good. But yeah, A Song of Ice and Fire is a wonderful game. Unfortunately, I've missed a fair few editions now. I don't know what state it's in.
Right.
If it was close to what I thought it was, it's wonderful. But yeah, the change is a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow.
Being Game of Thrones, is there much shagging in it?
There's a lot of references to naked people,
Right.
and stuff like that.
What are the models like?
The models are okay. They're single piece. Like, there's no assembly.
Are they like board game
Yeah.
material?
Yeah. You get that is another beautiful thing about this game. You buy a box, you take them out of the box, they are ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
They just go onto
What, they come painted?
No, they don't come painted.
Oh, they're not ready to play then.
Yeah, because nobody would ever play with unpainted models, would
Not
they?
for a test game.
Elitist. Anyway, right. Yes.
It was a test game. Anyway, so generally, like you enjoyed it, but now you don't play it.
Yeah, it's sadly and the problem is to the point where a lot of my friends who I played with don't play it as well.
Right.
And it drove the community that way. I'd like to think there's potential for it to get good again, but yeah, I'll give it a try. If anyone's curious about it, I'd definitely say give it a try. However, if you can get all the models you want, I'd be very surprised.
Fair enough.
Because you not just play the old rules set.
You could play the old rule set. The downside is whether or not you could get the models for the old rule set as well.
I guess you could always use proxies and stuff. But...
You can do. They come in trays. Everything's on a movement tray.
Right.
And it's a very particular base size as well. So you have to go for a little bit of effort to get it onto the same kind of base. You could do. If you want to put that kind of effort in. The beauty of this game is you literally buy a box and it's ready to go. You can buy an army and you'd be playing within 5 minutes.
But it just takes 6 months to get there.
Yeah, exactly that.
Cool. All right, cool. So next up, we've been asked a question, which is if the tone wasn't already set for this episode. This is from Tifa Yennefer, Final Fantasy and Witcher fan.
Okay.
Are you all sharing a bed tonight?
Are we? I don't know. I arrived here. I've not spoken to anyone about sleeping arrangements.
You know these in Rocky Horror Show,
Yeah.
where Frankenfurter works his way between the rooms.
Right.
That's Boffnet.
Yeah.
So we'll be in separate rooms, but Boffnet will visit us both.
Silhouetted.
I'm sleeping in my car.
That's miles away. You'll never walk there.
I will stumble to my car
Better start off now.
and just crawl into the boot and pretend I don't exist for 8 hours.
Brilliant. There we go. So that was that question. I'm glad we're getting some nice, serious hobby questions. We've been asked by JRip13 if either of you, or if any of you, had the perfect passion project, what would it be? So I'm assuming this is hobby related. So if you could do any passion project within the hobby.
You go first. I've got an idea for mine, but
New guard models. No, it would be a Titan. It would be. It does it have to exist?
It doesn't say.
No,
It says
I'm
passion
not-
project. So I'm going to say.
Imperator Titan.
Is that the one above?
yeah,
Warlord that doesn't
yeah,
exist,
the
right?
big one with the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imperator Titan. I've got some of the old epic ones. I've got an old epic one. At some point I'll paint up. But yeah, a proper 40k Imperator Titan. I mean, this stage is probably the only place we could actually play.
I was going to say, yeah, he's definitely taller than me.
Yeah.
I've had this in my brain for a little while. It's more of a game system or something I want to do. Large scale miniature game, sort of beyond 32 to whatever this height is, of cybernetic dragon warriors.
Oh, you mean you want to make?
I would want to make a game like that at this
Crack on
scale of like dragon warriors that are all cybernetic implants and everything like that, and they have
What's the idea with the bigger scale? Like, why the bigger scale?
potential?
like them.
Right. Potential for playing. I love skirmish games.
Right.
I love painting. I mean, I paint armies. That's my thing. But surprisingly, apparently, I do. But I'm very much like this.
So what size board would you play that on then? If they're like models,
Fucking huge. Fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like longer than like easy like
Where are you
maybe
gonna play that?
three times as long in the States like this.
Oh yeah, because everyone's got access.
Yeah, it's 200 quid a night.
I know. No.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
For myself, I think it'd probably be a passion project.
Right? You see,
Because that's the thing is everything that I do is a passion project.
yeah, but what dream
Dream.
like big,
Go
dream,
crazy.
go
Possibly
big,
doesn't
go
exist. We've
like
got-
Crazy.
We've
Yeah,
got not
yeah.
existing at the moment.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
go.
Oh, yeah, you went for a model that doesn't exist. You went for a game that doesn't
yeah,
exist.
but it also would include models that don't exist at the moment. So, oh,
I don't know.
This is great.
Oh.
Telly.
I don't know.
oh,
Like, do you know what I mean?
what would you like? What would you want to do? Like, would you want to do like?
Would it be a small melting Eldar child in front of your Primarch?
Brilliant. I would like to paint. If you could do, if all the Primarchs were back, and do a paint a Vulcan model
Okay. Yeah.
for 40k.
Yeah.
And have it as a model that I could use. Because the 400 one's nice, and I do want to get one and paint one at some point, like the display one. But I mean, a model that you could like a 40k version, a different model, like Girlyman's got, but like for
if
a good Primark.
If you ever get into 30k, you're going to be like full on erect
I might
the
do
entire
at some point.
time.
I might get into 30k at some point.
It's
such
a good game.
I can't say I'm not going to, but now I might actually end up doing so. Maybe we'll see. Right, next up, we've got Dalbonics. These are all on Instagram.
What a name!
Sounds like a sort of Danish electronics company.
I was going to say a woodworking electronics smith.
I mean, we are still the second biggest gaming podcast in Denmark.
Yeah, that's it.
True.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So they're asked, what is the fastest time you've ever painted a miniature, and what was it?
Oh, that's too much for me. I'll cancel
Single miniature.
I don't know. I've painted so much.
I honestly think the fastest miniature I've ever painted is in like to completion. I'm assuming that we're talking like an actual painted miniature, like the grots that I painted for that video obviously aren't painted properly. They are painted, but they're not. So I think the fastest one that I've probably painted is probably either the Nightbringer or the Deceiver that I painted last week, because I did both of those in 20 minutes each.
But I've painted like a skeleton in 5 minutes.
Well, there you go.
That's like super easy, but like I don't really class that as, like, because there's painting and then there's painting.
Wow, you're calling me elitist. Look at Elston. Oh, I don't class that as painting.
Skeletons don't exist.
I mean, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's a contrast on a dry brush at best.
Yeah, exactly that. There's nothing overly.
Still technically a miniature you've painted.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, you could go with all kinds of like weird things, like I painted a hand grenade or something stupid.
I mean, that's
Necrons. You know,
right.
Straight up there with
Right.
Necrons.
Yeah.
It's the easiest armor in the world. Like silver. Wash.
I mean, I spray them silver, 2 washes, and then Tesseract out all the special stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Job done.
Yeah, with me, it's just airbrush. Done. Okay, that's done. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've done small things very quickly, but
That's what she said.
Champion!
Brilliant. So what about your Necrons?
Necrons probably, although
Probably a skeleton.
Orc I did for the July basing challenge was probably under an hour in total, because it was just contrast slapped on and then awesome basing. The best basing in the world ever. Goblin green with sand, dry brushed yellow.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and like I said, for me, I think even though it's been fairly recent, I think the fastest two are the Deceiver and the Catan Shard. Quick airbrush of the Turbo Dork. Tidied up the bits where I've overspilled, and then a couple of contrasts and dry brush. Job done. Like literally 20 minutes each.
See, that's what I would classify as actually painting, like actually putting some, I say putting some effort, but you know, more than wash dry brush.
I felt like I'd not done them properly because I'd done them so fast.
Yeah, it's weird how that happens, isn't it?
This is what I wanted to do with them.
It's really annoying when that happens. You're like, I should put more effort. You're like, but it's done.
Yeah, it's done and it looks good.
Yeah.
I can do a Necron in the same time it takes me to edge highlight a Space Marine.
Yeah, right.
It took me longer to wait for the base to dry from the glue than it did to paint the model. So, next up, we've been asked by Forgefather Lurky. Do you recommend learning how to airbrush? If so, which would you recommend to pick up? Yes, learn how to airbrush.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
The
hardest part is disassembling and cleaning your airbrush.
I think, to be honest, I do think the hardest part is not worrying about that.
Yeah.
Because that's what put me off airbrushing for such a long time. It wasn't learning how to do the airbrushing, it was that I was going to buy something and then fuck it up.
Yeah, to be honest with you, to learn how to airbrush, press down and pull back. And then you just get used to that.
It's like driving. You have to learn where your clutch, like where your clutch point is.
Yeah.
Sort of like that with an airbrush. You can't just blast.
Yeah. It's one of those things, as you do it for years and years, you'll get used to different needle sizes and stuff like that.
You see, because I got an airbrush, but I pretty much just use it for basing.
Yeah.
So use the all-clad base primers, which are just immense. Certainly on metal models, they are just brilliant. And because I'm not doing it for fine detail and stuff like that, I get 10, 15 quid cheapos off Amazon. And then when they start to clog up, and obviously you clean them, take it apart and things, but when it just goes, you're just like, right, in the bin, one, straight through.
Yeah.
Luke doesn't even try to clean his though. Like his clog up and just goes manual. But no, to be fair, the cheap ones, like I've used a couple of like 20, 25 pound ones off eBay that come with like 3 needles each. You get all the stuff. Do you know what? They're fine. They are good airbrushes.
Certainly, if you're just basing or doing something like that, or just a wash or something where you don't
even for actual painting though. Like I've done proper painting with those, and they're fine. The airbrushes that I use are I've got they're all harder than Steenbeck or Steinbeck. Is it Steinbeck?
Either or.
H&S.
Yeah.
They're all H&S airbrushes. So I've got the Infinity. I've got the Infinity and the Evolution.
And you got the Squidmar.
The Squidmar, which is...
That's something else.
I think it's based off all of them. I think it's got bits from all of them. The Squidmar one is the one that I use the most because it's got all the bits together. So it's all the best bits. But I would say, the Harden Steenbeck is a good airbrush.
See,
what do you use?
I use the Badger Patriot 105, and it has been my go-to brush for nearly a decade now. And it is a workhorse. It is. I started with a chrome that went wrong. I've used the Sotar 2020, where if you want to paint eyes, that's the airbrush to do it. Because oh my god, is that thing! But if you go small, expect clogging. That is just a rule that if you get with airbrush, if you want to do really, really, really fine detail, expect clogging. That just happens.
I mean, I still don't do like proper detail.
Yeah.
I do like shading and stuff. I do base coats. I do nice blends and stuff.
Yeah, I gave up with trying to do detail like that a long time ago because it's not really worth it. To be fair, you can usually mask off an area and then use a wider spray airbrush to get the same effect. You just don't need to.
But like, if you're looking at getting into it, get yourself a compressor that's a decent compressor. I would say get a tank on it. Some people say don't bother. Some people say you've got to.
I definitely go for the tank.
I would say
again,
so.
I'm as the amateur on the table. I got a nail sprayer compressor. So it's not a compressor. It's literally just press on. It's got 3 powers. It was again 20 quid off Amazon because I wanted to try. I wanted to see what it was like. And I'm just doing priming. So I can't.
If you're
use
just
it at
doing
night
priming and stuff, it's not too bad. It's when you come to doing layering and shading and things like that, you want the consistency that you get from having a tank because it's not constantly.
But if and I've forgotten your users, Dan
Forge Father Loki.
Forge Father Loki. If you are worried, get a cheap set first. Don't go out and spend 200 quid on an airbrush.
That was what I was going to say. I would say get a decent airbrush because sometimes if you buy get a decent compressor, like not a mega expensive one, but like I'd get one with a tank, get the cheapest one you can get with a tank because it's going to give you the best idea of what it's like. But then pick up a cheap airbrush like 20, 25 quid off eBay.
To maybe elaborate on that to explain the reason why you would want to go down that route, there are 2 technical reasons why you would want a tank versus not having a tank. One is consistency, as has been mentioned. If you don't have a tank, the compressor is working all the time, and if it is not hitting the right amount, you'll get fluctuations. Your spray will either stutter
It'll stutter and splatter.
Yeah, splatter. The other element of as well is if you have a compressor working like that, what it does is it builds up condensation, and you either have to adapt to that by having a water trap on the end of your either compressor or airbrush or both, because the condensation will happen and that will shoot straight up the pipe
and it'll water your paint down.
Yeah, it'll come out of your airbrush and it will be like it'll just explode. And there's nothing you can do about it. It'll just happen. You're like, oh, okay, well, that's ruined. So if you are going to go without a tank, please get a water trap because that'll just make your life easier. But yeah, those are 2 main reasons why you would want a tank versus not having a tank. Each not 100% required, but those are the reasons why I would say If you can afford it, go for it.
And get a proper cleaner fluid as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
Proper
right.
cleaner fluid.
For the brand of paint you're using, that's really important.
Yes, and the other thing I would say is when you do get your airbrush, regardless whether it's a cheap one, expensive, or whatever, before you start using it, I would advise taking it apart. Like, watch a video.
Full Metal Jacket stuff.
Yeah.
Like, take it apart, put it back together. Take it apart, put it back together.
Watch a video, look at some instructions, whatever. But I would take it before it gets gunked up with paint,
Right.
so that you can see how it should come apart and go back together. Because then, when you come to clean it,
you know what?
you shouldn't really have to take it fully apart to clean it every time you use it, unless something's gone drastically wrong.
No, but every now and again you do need to fully strip it down, clean
Give it
every
a proper
part.
clean. And if you know how it goes together and how it comes apart and what it should look like and feel like and stuff, without it being messed up, then you'll know that for when you do it, and you'll go, oh, that shouldn't look like that, or that shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Try to not use abrasive things. Like, it's easy to think, oh, I'll scrape that bit.
Yeah.
Because
Wire
you rough up
brushes
the
and stuff.
surface,
Yeah.
Which I find bizarre why they send the wire brushes with all the airbrush cleaning stuff when you.
Yeah, that's interesting as well, because that I think that's designed for the main channels, not for the nozzle.
No,
like don't use that for the nozzle. That's not.
You rough it up, and then the paint sits in the rough
Yeah,
surfaces.
exactly,
Clean
yeah,
off
yeah,
as much,
exactly,
so keep it nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to take a small comfort break.
Yeah. Comfort break. See ya.
We'll be back in 3 minutes after these ads, folks.
Because obviously we can afford sponsors.
No, sponsors pay us.
Oh yeah, that's the way it works. Oh, going into the darkness.
I believe in a thing called love. Okay, we are back after that small comfort grate. Comfort grate.
Comfort grape.
Yeah, comfort grate.
Anyone else got a comfort grape?
We've got a few more questions we're going to go through. We will be taking a break again in a little while when our snack attack arrives.
Snack attack!
But for now, we'll carry on answering the questions. So, next up is from Bizbot over on my Discord server. If you're not already a member, join. It's for free. Link down below. Bizbot has asked, what advice would you give yourself if you could back when... What advice would you give yourself if you could go back to when you first started painting miniatures?
I like the way you've originally phrased it. What advice could you give yourself if you could go? Wow. What? How did you say it? What advice could you give yourself if you could back yourself?
I read it as it's written. It's written. What advice would you give yourself if you could back when you first started painting miniatures?
Back when you first started.
Obviously, it's a grammatical error.
Yeah.
So
I do it all the
corrected
time.
it.
To be fair, don't worry, Bizbot. I do it all the time.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Traffique.
Travis.
Just like everyone on that inside joke, Elston messaged me on 3 separate messages earlier on and spelled traffic with an E at the end. And I asked if that was the French spelling.
No idea why. No, I thought autocorrect was my friend.
No.
Nope.
Anyway, that's the question. So, what advice would you give yourself if you could go back to when you first started painting miniatures?
Keep some of them.
Some of the first miniatures.
Yeah. I've sold a lot, and I kind of miss it.
Yeah.
I like everyone's got like their first miniature they've ever painted and stuff like that. God knows.
What was the first miniature you ever painted?
I think I might have it, but I think I cannibalized it for parts at some
So
point.
he's lying.
Yeah.
Well, possibly. I don't know. It was a bit of a haze because that was when GW were making lead miniatures, and I'm sure a child handling lots of lead was not great for my brain. Thanks, GW.
Done.
Done.
That's the title of this. That's the title of this, is it?
GW ruined my lead count.
GW ruined my brain.
I've had lead poisoning. It's fine. I know what it's like. Anyway, they've got it in the Warhammer Museum. It's a dragon that is standing up. It's hard to describe it. It's a snake-like dragon standing up, head leaning over, wings come over, and the wings, like the ends of the wings, are quite long. It sits about yay high,
Is this the first model you ever painted?
Yeah.
I painted a fucking Lord of the Rings goblin.
Yeah, no, I was mate, I was in it way before you were. I started this when
I know, but a dragon was your
Yeah.
first ever model.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to start. A dragon.
What's the first model you're going to do? A Titan.
Yeah. That's how I'm starting my life. Go for big or go home.
So I've always been compensated then.
Yeah, always. I knew it from an early age. This was my destiny.
See, I'm trying to think. I think my first model genuinely might have actually been a Titan from Epic.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was the first one I got into.
Yeah.
Was all the Epic stuff. And I think it might have been a Warlord Titan.
Well, nice. Yeah, I joined in. I joined in Warhammer Fantasy maybe in 2nd edition. It was the first time I ever had real exposure to it. My neighbours down the road were really into it. Walked in and they had a big battle, Skaven versus Goblins going on. And I was just like, what's this? And it was, since then I was just like, yeah, this is me. This is me in my life now.
What advice would you give?
Keep a book of all your recipes. The paints you use, and the colour schemes, and the order in which you process it. I've started doing it recently. Certainly, if you've got multiple armies on the go, because you'll do that intensively for 3 months, and then another army will come out, and you'll not touch it, and you go back to it 9 months later, and you're like, "What green was it? What brown was it?" And sometimes you can tell.
And you think you've taught yourself well enough that you're like, I'm never gonna forget this.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, what?
See, the benefits of creating YouTube content and doing a lot of my own hobby within my own videos is that if I ever forget how to paint something, I can just rewatch one of my videos.
That was my original idea for my YouTube channel was so I could remember my recipes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Writing down in a book is a lot easier.
Yeah. Way easier than editing. Like, god damn.
Or just paint everything the way that Rod's Mods tells you, and just use his Instagram.
Yeah, Duncan Rhodes. Would you be like, I'm just following this guy now?
Yeah. Cool. So next up, it's a little bit of a similar question to one that we were asked earlier.
Okay.
But this one is from Sprocket. Again, these are all on my Discord. Question: if money was no object, which Games Workshop model would you most like to build and paint?
Oh.
So it's a little bit similar to the one we had earlier, but this one's got to be an existing model, I guess.
I'm going to get the name wrong now. Forgraph, the corn dragon, the dude on the corn dragon.
Oh yeah, I thought it's not Korgorath. That's the heresy.
Or something.
Yeah, that thing is a monster. That is a cool thing.
It's 400 odd quid, like proper Forge World. That big. It is beautiful.
So the issue I always have with these sorts of questions, with if money was no object, what would you be? I feel like everyone has the same answer.
Warlord Titan.
Because it's always because the thing is, it's like there's models that I would like and are a little bit pricey, but none of them are like crazy pricey. Like they're like a few hundred quid. Like you know, some of the Forge World Necron stuff, the big stuff, like a few hundred quid. But I can save up a few hundred quid. Like, it's not, do you know what I mean? It's not crazy.
That's
out
the
there.
beauty of being adult.
Whereas a Titan is like $2,000.
Mm.
I'm not going to save $2,000. That is a nice model.
It is huge as well. That thing is like,
do you know what I mean?
big.
Like a few hundred quid is achievable.
Yeah.
Like £2,000 is not. So I feel like if you don't say Warlord Titan, you're cheating yourself out or something.
I'm gonna throw a weird thing in. An unavailable model that you can't get anymore is the Imperial. What was it called? Imperial Fortress, or basically Gatehouse Bastion, or something like that. It was a Imperial Guard, strong. It was part of a barricade, and it was like a gatehouse here. But then you could buy sections which connect onto it. It was back in the, I want to say like 2010. I think this thing was rolling out, and it was easily like 400 or 500 quid. I think something like that.
You can get things like the plasma turrets. And
Yeah.
Is it the stuff they've got the displays made with?
Yeah. You can't buy a lot of this stuff anymore. But obviously, if money's no object, someone's going to be selling it somewhere for a silly amount of money. I'd be like, I always thought that, and I was like, that would be the coolest ass shit.
Where would you put it?
I'd make a board, dude. I would just make a board and be like, that's that. That's that board.
So yeah, I feel like with this, like my default should just be Titan.
Wall of Titan.
But if it's not gonna be a Titan, if I'm honest, like I would much rather paint a Manta or some of the Forge World Necron stuff, because the Forge World Necron stuff is really, really nice. Like the big walkers, like not the flyer, because that's just a big flyer hugging a smaller flyer. It looks the same.
Yeah. It's a
the big
canoptic construct. Is that what they call it?
is that the
No, the big like.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that I want.
Yeah.
It's the big tryout stalker.
Yeah,
the big boy. Like that's what I would want to
Yeah,
paint. One of those, or like maybe the orc. Is it a gargant?
Yeah. Oh.
The bigger
Mecha.
orc stomper.
Yeah. They don't. I don't think they make a model of that.
They have done at some point.
I don't know if they have.
Is it not as a kit bash?
I think it's a kit bash.
No, they've done one at some point. 'Cause someone did a video on one, and they had to do like a 3D print.
Nah,
They
that
did
was Armorcast. Armorcast were a separate company before
Right.
Forge World became a thing, and they did a Gargant, which Squidmar did.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, Squidmar did one. Armorcast is not Forge World,
Right.
But
Actually,
again,
the question is, what Games Workshop model? So we can't even go Forge World. Technically.
Technically,
You can get it in Warhammer World. You can buy it in there.
But it's not Games
Yeah, but you
Workshop.
can buy it in there.
Separate
You can
company.
buy it in there.
Don't matter.
It's the same bag.
So if we're
bet
gonna
the
if we're
invoice
gonna
is
take
the
this,
same.
this is a classic case, and I'm becoming more aware of this term. This is rules as written versus rules as
intended.
So obviously, Forge World would probably be included in this.
Yeah.
But for fun,
If the
let's
kill receipt
answer.
says Games Workshop at the top, I'm including it.
It might not do.
If I go to Warhammer World, it will.
Does it?
Does Smaug count?
Smaug's Forge World.
Is it? Was it Specialist Games? It's not classified.
I thought all specialist games were Forge World because they're all in the Forge World section of the shop.
Can't you buy Smaug on the GW website?
I have no idea what anything works.
See, I could just go
Or
to
how that
Discord and
sentence
edit that
was
comment.
like,
Forge World in there.
And Forge World. It's
So,
Specialist Games now. It's not
So-
Forge World so much
A
anymore.
big dragony guy.
Old school,
old-
out of production
terrain.
fortress terrain. Yeah.
Boring. And
Boring Necron.
yeah,
Oh, I work for a
yeah.
terrain maker. I'm boring.
just if you can paint anything, you just want to paint a wall.
It's not a wall. It's not a wall.
You
It's
can
a
paint Elston. You
gatehouse.
can paint anything you want. What do you want? I'll paint a wall, please.
It's an Imperial gatehouse. If
All
you
right, sorry, a wall with a door.
I'm gonna throw this at you. Like,
Go through your soggy towel at me.
That's what she
And
said.
I would probably, Warlord Titan is the default answer, which I presume we would all say yes, we'll have a Titan. But if you're not going to go for that answer, then yes, I would paint one of the Necron Forge World, the construct. whatever it's
yeah,
called.
the only reason, as you say, you go for a warlord is for money.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why you do it. Because you just like go big because it's more expensive.
Yeah, exactly. So then next up we've got Richard Smith, absolute legend,
Hi,
long-time
Rich.
supporter,
Rich.
Hi.
Uh, asking us, what's the best thing in the hobby?
Oh, wow. How?
That's a very deep question.
Oh, right.
for a
Yeah,
Friday
it's so
night.
simple, but so provoking. What's the best thing about the hobby?
No, the best thing in the hobby.
In the hobby? Ooh. Well, that's even deeper.
That's what she said.
That's what she wanted.
Come on, it's nearly kebab o'clock.
Kebab o'clock. I'm still waiting for Kebab o'clock to show up.
I know, aren't we all?
What's the best thing in the hobby?
Do you know what I think the best thing in the hobby is?
Friends.
Friends.
Well, I was going to say, I was going to say community, but
Community.
Friends.
Ah,
I legitimately think. I legitimately think.
Friends. Wargaming friends. Friends.
Brilliant.
Friends.
I legitimately think that the best thing in the hobby is the community. You surround yourself with friends.
Friends.
Surround yourself with people like that, and people that share the interest, share the passion, that you can game with, that you can talk about painting and stuff with, that just enjoy the hobby with you. I think that is Because it can be quite a singular and lonely hobby if you just sat in your hobby room doing it by yourself.
Yep.
But being able to like go to like local stores and sit and paint with other people, being able to go and game against people, joining clubs and stuff like that, I think that is the best part about this hobby.
Yeah.
I think one of the big things that helped that massively, in a weird sense, was COVID. Because COVID forced us to all go online.
Yeah.
And connect with people, the three of us here.
Yeah.
You know, through communities, through Discord, through WhatsApp and Facebook and stuff, actually connecting with other people. And I think during COVID, that community really grew within the hobby.
Yeah, definitely.
Monstrously. And the
I mean, not to say that it wasn't there already, but definitely it's helped encourage the online aspect.
And a wider community, because you'd always have your community of the local shop.
Yeah.
Where you go and you've got your mates and stuff like that, but actually connecting with more people.
Yeah. And
I think that makes it stronger because you do get to share recipes. You do get to, sell models and stuff and share ideas and talk about lore and stuff. It's so in a weird sense, I think COVID actually helped quite a lot with that online community.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for example, you and me, we're over 100 miles apart from each other easily.
That's true.
I think from in the UK, and for anyone that's not in the UK.
I don't think that is. It's not quite right. You're not that much shorter than me.
Ready? Oh, I can't do it. It's too nice a face.
For anybody listening on Spotify, you need to watch the YouTube video for that.
Yeah, Elson has just threatened me with a soggy tissue.
Not saying how we got soggy.
Yeah.
No.
This is not a soggy biscuit.
Wish it was the soggy biscuit.
No, you don't. No, we don't. No one wishes that.
Throw it at you.
Next question. So we all agree friends are great. Brilliant.
Yep.
Right. Next question. Uncle Fatwig has asked, who's your favourite dragon? I'm assuming this is a miniatures rather than just in general, who's your favourite dragon? And I'm assuming that it's also not like a weird sex thing like who's your daddy?
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
That's what I do.
I've had half a bottle of cider.
That's what I do. You don't bring up the sex thing when it comes to dragons. I do.
So I'm going to say next time, like, who's your dragon?
Wendy, run.
Wendy doesn't listen to these podcasts. It's a good job.
Pirate Queen Pickle. Watch out for dragon code word. It means something different.
So Uncle Fatwood has asked, who's your favourite dragon? He's also put, and why is it the cabbage dragon? My favourite dragon is not the cabbage dragon. My favourite dragon is the what was it you who mentioned Smaug? Maybe Forge World, maybe not Forge World. That is a gorgeous model. It's like 250 quid-ish or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's like fairly pricey, but it's a gorgeous model.
Volgraf.
Who?
Volgraf.
Is that the one you mentioned?
Yep, the one earlier passion project.
So basically, we've already answered this question.
I'm going to go.
It's the same answer for a different question.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Emperor Dragon from Creature Caster.
Is that the big one you did?
I haven't painted it yet.
I tell a lie. My favourite dragon is one that is not out yet, but I have seen. And I'm very excited for it to release. This is a super secret.
Oh, it's a secret we can't know about, and they can't know about.
You can't know about it.
Well done.
Not at this point
well
in time.
done.
Unless it's at a future point in time.
And then you can know about it, but I can't tell you here. You'll have to go and look elsewhere. But I will tell you guys after the episode. But it's a very, very nice dragon.
I'm fully erect now.
Yeah, I can tell the table has gone up an entire inch.
It hasn't even touched the table.
So, next question. Moving on.
Cameras haven't got that good a zoom. Don't worry, we're safe.
We've got a question from username unavailable. What is a good game to recommend that you might be able to get someone who doesn't play to have a go at? Not heavy on rules and flows enough to pique interest and doesn't overwhelm them with models and cost. So basically, if you had a budget of, well, you can't really put a budget on it. What is the best game to get someone who doesn't traditionally play miniatures games into playing miniatures games?
Oh, that's a question and a half, isn't it?
I'm gonna go Zombicide.
Yeah, Zombicide's a good shout.
It's great fun. It's really simple to set up. It's different every time. The basic starter is it's not too expensive, and you don't need that many models for it because you can keep repeating. You don't need to paint them, but it is a great game. It's great fun, and it's one person as well. You can do it one player.
So for me, I think I would recommend Underworlds.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a fairly low model count. It is like a hybrid war game, board game, and card game. Because there's deck building in it. There's some miniatures that you can paint, and those with the Blood Bowl models are the best miniatures that GW does, in my opinion. Like the sculpts on those Underworld sets, like even the ones that I'm not bothered about, are nice. So I would say probably Underworlds is a good. And it's cheap enough to get into because you literally like buy a box. It's like what 20 quid, 25 quid, and that's it. You've got everything you need.
I'm gonna go a little bit off, a little bit unpredicted. Is Talisman?
Oh, right.
Talisman is the most phenomenal game I've ever played.
Right.
In my life, barring Warhammer Quest. Warhammer Quest beats it just by a smidgen, but Talisman, anyone can play it because the simple case you go, here's your character, here's a card. Here's what's on your card. And it's like 3 stats, something like that. And when it's your turn, you roll a dice and you move that many squares. And then you do what's on the square.
And that's it.
And that's it. It's like Monopoly, but
it sounds more like a board game, though. That is like more.
There is miniatures in, and this is kind of where I'm like, this is where I think if you want to get people into it, you kind of need to start at the board game level. I
guess I did sort of go similar, but I think I
think that's where Zombicide is good as well.
Yeah.
It is a board. It's you move that number of squares, but the board isn't the same board every time.
Right.
You can generate different setups.
Do you know, in all my time doing like miniatures and stuff, I've never played a game of Zombicide.
No? It's good fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Mate of mine's got it, and he's got lots of expansion kits. And we did this massive one on the floor. It absolutely filled his front room. Yeah. And we had 3 different kits put together, and there was a spaceship in the middle, and the medieval world, and the future world, and it was like the spaceship had crashed and had put. Oh, it's great.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Really good fun.
Short answer is something that's like a board game combo.
Yeah, a hybrid. If you're going to bring them in, I would say start at the board game level. So it's simple, it's easy, not really much of an investment, and fun.
If you wanted to talk
it needs to be fun.
Yeah, if you wanted to talk like actual miniature, like tabletop war game type stuff, then I would say do something skirmishy side.
Yeah.
Like Warcry, Underworlds, Kill Team if you want to do sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
See, I would say Age of Sigmar is very easy to get into.
Age of Sigmar is very easy to get into, but
at a basic level, picking up a.
It's still more models than a warband.
But that's true.
Possibly. And the thing is, if you enjoy playing Warcry, you can then take those models and use them in Age of Sigmar.
True.
So it's that forwards compatibility type thing as well, which is cool. Cool. And then, as far as I can tell, this is the last question we've been asked, which is probably going to time it just about right for the kebab.
Absolutely.
This is from Not47 on Discord. When army building, how important is the narrative behind your army/unit selections, or are you more? These models are good in the game, so damn what the story says. He also goes on to say, I love to have a narrative theme more than anything, hence why most of the armies are shit on the tabletop. So generally, for myself, I always go by rule of cool. I paint stuff that looks cool, that I'm interested in, that I want to paint, and then it goes into my army. Sometimes I will get something because it's got cool stats or it does something fun in a game. It might not be competitive necessarily. Like Trazin, for example, is not competitive. Yeah. But he's got some cool rules to use in game.
Okay.
And he's a cool model. So generally I go by that sort of mindset, and I buy stuff that I don't already have, I paint it, and it goes in my army, and then when I write a list, I end up using the same 3 units and don't use any of the cool stuff because I never get to play big enough games. But narrative-wise, I don't tend to do much narrative with my armies and lists. I tend to go, this is my army. That's it.
Yeah. I'm going to open the doors to a little bit of a... It's not a secret. My friends know this. I'm a really beardy player. really, really, really beardy. Like when I write a list.
Cool, can't wait to play later.
Yeah, right. When I write a list, I'm like, what's good? And that's it. And that is how my brain works. What the great part of my brain does, it goes, this is great. Okay. How can I construct a narrative around this? I know. I'll paint all of the army, and therefore no one can say I'm a competitive player. However, I'm only going to use about 45% of this army, and that's what I'm actually going to use. And then when that part of the army is not good, I can just move over to the next part of the army, or then over to the next part.
Because you already got it all.
Because I've already got it all. My brain goes, right, tailor the army to what's good right now. The smart part of my brain goes, that's only going to be temporary. What do you need to do to make sure this is a long-lasting thing? Get all of it. All right. So
I paint stuff that looks cool. You're a dirty metagamer.
I paint everything.
And
so
you paint everything.
So
but you are still a metagamer.
So I can be metagaming all the
everyone
time.
can now hit Alison for another reason. And Buffett, I think you're probably more on the narrative side
Massively.
than either of us. Because just based on playing AOS with you and how erect you were at Path to Glory.
Path to Glory.
Path to Glory.
Path to Glory.
Yeah, so you
It's,
like that.
yeah, completely. I mean, there's a little bit of a lot of my army is based around what models I have. So things like Imperium and Mortal Realms start you off. But then I go completely lore. What is cool? What's got good rules? What's got a good name? What do I like? And then I'll sort of look at lists based around those and get things in to buff them and to work them. Yeah. But the core of it will start around lore.
Yeah.
And you can tell I'm not a metagamer because I play Khorne, Bloodbound, and Guard.
I like it. We've got a nice mix though, because we've got one side of the table that is the filthy metagamer.
Yeah,
We've got the other side of the table that is like the narrative and lore matters first. And then you've got me in the middle that just paints stuff that looks cool and I don't really care.
I mean, my Imperial Guard army, I'm sort of working towards this 10,000 point painted Imperial army. I'm up to about 6,500, 7,000 now. I've written massive amounts of lore. I've got entire documents on lore. I've created this entire system.
When you say you've written loads of lore, is it just a 10,000 word text document that's just Cadia stands copied and pasted?
Yeah, of course. And, 5,000 times Cadia stands, 5,000 times for the Emperor.
So I'm going to interject here on the one stance which I can defend for metagamers, and
you try and defend.
No, wait. I'm going to give some advice to metagamers. Right, my friends like me, and they know what I do. They know what I do. My gaming friends, not you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
I don't class as a gaming friend.
Wow. I mean, we don't need salt on our chips later, do we?
Have a tissue. Anyway,
is this just you bragging that
No.
My friends like me.
I've got friends that like pickle. No.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. Anyway.
Dear viewers, this has suddenly got very awkward.
I'm not crying.
All I'm going to say, this is a piece of advice for all the metagamers out there. If your friends are giving you crap about being a metagamer,
who would do that?
And they're giving you all loads of shit about being a metagamer and how, basically, I'm not very good at playing games. I forget loads of things, but I'm really good at writing a list. So I'm writing the list. It's really
great at shopping.
Really horrible, right? Really, really horrible. Here's the one thing to defend yourselves and make your friends like you again. Just admit it. Just roll into it and go, you're a filthy metagamer. You're like, yep. You know it. And they're like, oh, I can't be angry at you now. You're like, because it sounded as a derogatory.
Yeah, you can.
Two people right here. Yeah.
No.
Never been more disgusted.
Because you're then suddenly an arrogant metagamer.
No. I'm not rubbing in your face. I'm just like, yeah, I'm absolutely filthy. I wrote disgusting lists. I'm really sorry.
You're a disgusting list.
And then you give the puppy dog eyes. You're like, I'm sorry.
Why are you giving the puppy dog eyes?
Because I'm about to trounce you into the fucking ground.
Yeah, but what's the puppy dog going to do with the eyes?
I imagine a puppy dog smashing someone into the ground.
All right, that's the end
Okay.
of the main topic. Massive thank you to everyone that asked us all those questions. If you want to take part in future episodes where we do something similar, if you follow us on Instagram, next time we'll do it with more notice, and Elston will post as well. So go and follow Elston on Instagram, follow
Yes,
me on Instagram.
apparently I do think.
Post it on Discord, so do it on there. But yeah, massive thank you to everyone for submitting your questions. We hope that this has been entertaining. We're going to take a short break while we wait for the snack attack section of the show to arrive,
Right.
which should hopefully be
We're in
25 minutes ago. So we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. And when we come back, we will be a lot happier and ready to eat.
Eat.
So we'll see you shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, presenting to you live and on stage for the first time in front of a recorded audience, Kebabs!
Oh my god.
We nearly had a delivery man on stage with us as well.
Oh, wow.
Already?
We hadn't seen the PS before. So I was like, oh, can I come on stage? Yep. Oh, I've got deliveries. All right. Right. No idea which one is which.
Well, ours are the bigger ones. So, guys, this is Snack Attack for this week. And as you can see, or maybe you can't if you're listening, but if you're watching, then as you can see, we've gone all out for Snack Attack this week. We have got kebabs and chips.
Yes.
And me and Elston have got salad because we're conscious about our weight.
Are we? I just wanted more.
I've got salad because I felt bad that I weren't having salad.
If you don't get salad, do you get more meat?
No, probably not.
So you get more if you have salad.
Yeah, because there's more, it fills up the tray as opposed to salad filling up the tray.
Ah, so you do get more meat.
Oh, now I feel sad. So yeah, we are normally we wait to start eating until after we've introduced Snack Attack, but we've been waiting for this for a while. We're all very hungry,
Yeah.
so we started eating already. So Snack Attack this week, a little bit different. There's three of us. We're all in person. We're enjoying a nice kebab.
Mm-hmm.
I've eaten a chocolate donut today, so this is going down a treat. So Elston, what have you got on your kebab?
I've got just mayonnaise and salad. I'm relatively plain and boring when it comes to salads, but I love it.
To salads or to kebabs?
Sorry?
You said I'm relatively plain when it comes to salads.
Sorry, relatively plain when it comes to kebabs. Thank you for the correction. Apologies, I'm too engrossed in this food right now to listen to you anymore.
And what is it you're eating?
A kebab.
Are you sure? Not a salad?
No, I'm eating chips as well. With a salad.
What have you got on yours?
I've got sweet chili sauce,
Very nice.
which is nice. And the kebab is nice, but it's not going down well because of my hangover.
Well, Baffinette is over.
Even though it's now 10 o'clock at night.
It's not.
It's
It's 11 o'clock at night.
11
It's
o'clock
11 o'clock
at
at
night.
night. I am still hungover from last night.
And I have got. We've all got doner meat, by the way. Doner meat kebab, which is what is doner meat? It's lamb, isn't it?
Yep.
Lamb.
Mutton.
Mutton.
Lamb is obviously the child version. We're going for the adult version.
Yes. So there we go. We've all got.
Like a small Eldar child.
We've all got doner kebab. I've also got salad, which I'll be honest, will probably not get eaten. I only ordered it because I felt bad.
I'd eat it.
And I've got a bit of bread.
I'd eat
I've
it.
got chips.
Right.
And on mine, I have got garlic mayo and hot chili sauce.
I won't eat it. Hi. How are you?
All right.
How's your kebab doing on the snack attack rating?
10 out of 10
Yeah?
on everything.
Finger residue.
Oh,
I'm
what's
eating
what
it with a
forks? Forks. Do not touch. Like, it's a full on, like, if you don't have a fork, it's a full on 0.
Yeah, there's a lot of sauce on this. I mean, it's not a bad thing because I've got a fork. But there is a lot of sauce. So
You
yeah.
do, yeah, it's not necessarily a wargaming snack itself.
It doesn't matter. It's a special episode. Stop picking fault. It's fine.
As you can tell, Pickle is obviously hungry and wants to disregard any rules that are now in play.
Rules as written rather than rules as intended.
Rules as I'm hungry and fuck you.
So, how is this kebab rating for you? I mean, our views might be a little bit skewed because we are hungry. But compared to like kebabs you've had previously,
this was good.
this is a very nice
Yeah,
kebab.
it's not overly burnt. It's not swimming in like weird greases and stuff like that. It looks relatively fresh. Weirdly, it's quite a nice, clean kebab. Sometimes you get kebabs and you're like, oh, there's a lot of oils and weird stuff, and it's making it go a funny color and stuff like that. But this is a relatively clean and like visually, aesthetically pleasing kebab.
So, how's yours?
Mine's great. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a nice kebab. So, like normally, the best kebabs that I've had previously. I mean, this is a very good kebab. I'm not gonna lie, this is a very nice kebab. The best kebabs I've ever had are the ones that they do. The chip shop near me. You order one of those kebabs. You order a mixed kebab. It is absolutely massive. I'm talking like you need full 2 hands to hold it. Like it is huge. Comes in the pitta, and that's absolutely gorgeous. I think the guy that runs the chip shop, I think he's Greek. So like,
Nice. Greek kebabs are nice.
yeah. I mean, it's like it's doner meat and chicken and whatever, but those are very, very nice kebabs. But this is a very nice kebab. It's very tasty. I mean, to be honest, like I said, part of it's probably a little bit skewed because we're very hungry. But
This place does a very nice mixed kebab as well.
Yeah?
I say, yeah, it's a very good mixed kebab, this one, from this place.
But yes, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Very tasty.
right.
I'll tell you what though, it's just, I mean, I know it's like it's just sauce, but the sauce that's on this kebab as well is very nice. So, let's give some scores.
All right.
Pardon me.
I can't remember what we rate them on.
I'm going to tell you. So, we rate kebabs. No, we rate Snack Attack on. So, we normally do packaging, finger residue, weight to chew ratio, and mouthfeel. And then we give it an overall score.
Mouth aggravation.
Well, I'm saying mouthfeel.
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 So, packaging. It's a takeaway.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It contains it. I will say, I appreciated that they put my pita bread on top of the tub rather than just on top and in it because it's bread, it can get a bit soggy with it sweating and stuff.
That's a unique rule for this kebab place, though. Usually that is.
I can only rate this kebab that I'm eating now.
Oh, okay. So we're going on. Where is this from?
Best kebab shop.
Oh, wonderful!
Yep.
There you go.
There we go.
Automatic win.
On Angel
Says
Place
it on
in
the
Worcester.
name.
Yep.
Awesome.
So, packaging, I'm going to say it's just, it's kebab, it's takeaway packaging. I'm going to go with, I don't know, 7 out of 10. It's just standard.
Yeah. It's hard to say for or against, to be honest with you, either way, because it is just takeaway.
It does what it needs to do.
Yeah.
That's it.
I follow suit. Yeah. 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yep, go with that.
Cool. Next up is finger residue contamination. Now,
This is like straight up, like almost 0 if you don't have a fork.
yeah, if you didn't have a fork and you were trying to eat this with your hands, it would have to be a 0.
Yep.
Because it'd be you could not play games while eating one of these.
No.
But you've got a fork,
It's pretty good.
and generally most takeaway places you get a wooden one that'll come with it. Or
Yeah.
whatever, don't you? But we've got, we're fancy, so we've got not wooden ones.
And I reminded Boffnet before we left.
So we're eating forks, no contamination at all.
Nope.
So
Well,
based on the idea that you've got a fork,
It's got to be a 10.
10 out of 10 because it's 0 contamination. But if you don't have a fork, it'd be a 0 out of 10.
Yep.
yeah, I'm with you on that.
Cool. Weight to chew ratio.
That's an interesting one because you can get you can chew for a while with this stuff if you really want to.
It's
But
true.
I mean, it's not like what's its disintegration,
No,
is it?
no. It's not kind of on the gobstopper level, like it's never going to disappear either.
No.
But it's pretty high up there with like a average kind of level of chewing sort of thing. I'm going to go with solid 8. Because of the weight versus like chewing and everything like that. Although I think
that forkful just took me 25 chews.
that was weird that you counted that, but I appreciate that you did.
That's just the level of effort that I go to for this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to go for a 7. I think if it was a mixed kebab, slightly chunky and bits of meat, that'd be an 8 or a 9.
I think this maybe goes down to more the health regarding of how quickly you should swallow things before.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think 7 out of 10
Yep.
for weight to chew. It's it's a good. It's not disintegrating too quick. It's good. Mouthfeel or mouth whatever.
You need a sauce.
So I don't think you do need sauce for kebab.
No, you do.
Yeah, you do.
It's too dry.
I could eat kebab without sauce. I prefer to eat it with sauce. I can quite happily eat kebab without.
When's the last time you ate it without sauce?
I can eat it without sauce.
When's the last time you ate it without sauce?
I do always order sauce.
Right. Because
it tastes better.
mouthfeel.
That's to do with taste. It's not the feeling. It's not the texture.
They're related.
Well, no.
Yeah, they are.
Mouthfeel
Yeah,
is
you
about-
You definitely got to have sauce. Like it's if you
Gotta have
try
sauce.
it, if
It'd
you
be
eat
too
a
dry
kebab,
without it.
if you eat a kebab without sauce, it is very
When
weird.
you come up for ChillCon, I'm going to eat a kebab without sauce. I'm going to make you watch.
Bring it to the hobby clinic, ladies and gentlemen. As well, quick little plug here. ChillCon, August 20th. Saturday, August 20th. I'm guessing.
I think it is correct.
Sheffield area. We're doing. There's a
Yes, the
war game.
entirety of Sheffield.
There's a wargaming convention.
And we're going to be there.
We're going to be there. Yeah,
With or without kebabs.
yeah.
Sans kebab.
And sauce.
And or not sauce.
If you want to come and learn how to paint things, if you want to learn from Pickle, if you want to learn from me, if you want to learn
If you
from
want to
some
watch
of the
me eat
pros,
kebab without sauce.
if you want to watch me eat a kebab without sauce, I will be charging £1 for entry.
That's not to do with my kebab eating, though.
That's your OnlyFans, isn't it?
No, that's 5.
Sorry.
Don't mention that here.
Sorry.
Anyway, ChillCon, 20th August. Come on and see Pickle eat a kebab without sauce.
That may or may not happen.
I'm holding you
to
to
be
that.
confirmed.
I'm holding you to that.
Right, mouthfeel then. Do you say anyway? It's regardless of the moot point saying that it's got to have sauce because you've got sauce on your kebab.
To be fair, yeah, if we are judging this, then fair enough. I'm pretty good. I would say an 8, maybe 7.
Yeah, 7, 6 or 7. Yeah. It's...
I have to like have salad and chips to kind of nullify it. Otherwise, it is a bit too much.
I can see that.
Yeah, it kind of like.
I think I'm just going to go again with a 7.
Yeah.
Very standard across the board.
Mm.
Kebab's just one of those things. I like the thing that we, all the ratings that we give for Snack Attack. We never once discuss taste. We discuss
Yeah, but isn't that
packaging,
in the- isn't that in the
finger
overall?
That's
contamination,
very subjective.
weight to chew, mouth feel,
It's very subjective.
and then we do the overall. We never discuss taste as an
Yeah,
individual
but-
thing.
Yeah, but I like to think that the viewer would know what taste it is when they go for it. Because we describe the taste.
And if they like that taste, like for example, I'm not overly keen on mushrooms.
No one is. It's just like chewing rubbery dirt.
I like mushrooms.
Yeah, there you
I'm a fun guy.
go. Are you all right there?
Sorry, I didn't expect Buffett to be funny.
Wonderful. So, yeah. Taste is very subjectional, which
I
is
guess,
why
yeah.
we've
We
never
include that
really
in his
included
overall
it.
scores, don't we?
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
So speaking of overall scores, George Dawes,
Oh.
what are the scores? George Dawes.
Right.
Scores,
2
scores.
answers.
You can only have
No,
one.
2 answers because
Listen, I'm the one that writes the scores on this score.
Wait.
And I said there's only
The
one.
reason being we created Snack Attack as a wargaming snack food.
Yes.
This is not a wargaming snack food,
What
but
about
it's
food?
amazing food.
Right. Counter argument.
We could.
We are reviewing. We are. What are we doing right now?
We are talking about.
What are we doing right now?
Talking about
No,
eating food.
No, we are recording a podcast.
Right.
What is the podcast called?
Wargamers
War
Anonymous.
Game.
No,
This is a
just because
snack.
the name is in it.
None of the other snacks you've done have been my war game.
Yeah, but they've all
You
been
could eat this,
they've
you
all
could
been
eat
in
this.
relation to while you're wargaming.
Yeah, you could
while
eat
you're
this
wargaming.
while you're wargaming. We've got to we've got to rate it as a wargaming snack.
Are you going to
I've quite
finish?
often had Mackies through wargaming.
Yeah, are you going to finish that tonight?
I probably won't finish it tonight.
So right tomorrow then when we're wargaming,
Yeah.
you eat that.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Delayed answer from my part. Oh,
No delayed answer.
No, delayed answer.
We have to review it as a wargaming
no, it's
snack.
not. It's not.
You're not,
wa-
you're not
it's
reviewing
not.
kebabs
It's
as
not a snack, is it? It's a full-on meal, and it's
you're a
not.
full-on meal.
It is. I would not say this is good to have at a wargaming table
Well, that's
because you
fine.
need to
Well,
like push
do you
things
know what?
aside.
Score it appropriately.
I will score it as a 3.
Wow, can't believe you've been so harsh. on
Yeah,
kebabs.
right. But as I said,
No,
secondary
what's your
secondary
score,
answer. I love this food, and it's a 10 out of 10. If it was just on food, I'm all for it.
Elston trying to change the rules.
Shocking.
Shocking behaviour. That's
just
just
be-
not cricket.
I'm just being accurate.
Your face is accurate.
Because this is a wargaming snack, I'm going to go for about a... I think I'm going to go for a 9.
Oh, wargaming snack.
Yeah.
See, even he's surprised at that.
You're insane.
Why? What would you go for? What's your number then?
Well, don't tell you my number. My number,
I'm double seven.
I would say, as a wargaming snack, which is how we review things, because I remember what the rules are.
Yeah.
As a wargaming snack, I would probably have to agree with Elston. Is that I generally wouldn't eat this whilst I was wargaming. If I was to order a kebab while I was at a friend or I got a friend round to do some gaming, we would stop, go and eat this,
Exactly that.
and then come back and carry on gaming.
Because there's nothing
But
worse.
with that in mind, you would like all the stuff like finger residue and all that sort of stuff. You'd still gonna have to wash your hands if you did use your fingers. Do you know what I mean? Like all the stuff still sort of carries on, but I wouldn't necessarily class this as something that I would have as a snack
There you
whilst wargaming.
Yeah.
No. So you
However-
are correct.
However,
I mean,
it's amazing
this
food,
size.
and if you did want a gap between wargaming,
so it's an amazing food.
Fucking amazing.
We don't really need to score kebab because kebab's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
knows that.
yeah, exactly that.
And the more you have to drink, the more 10 out of 10 it becomes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a graph for amount drunk versus desire for kebab, and it's like that. Actually, I think it's more like that. No, sorry, it's more like that. Like you get to a point.
It's happening.
Yeah, you're having a kebab.
Yep.
Once you get past that certain point, once you hit that horizon line, it's kebab time.
Yep.
And you can quote me on that. So overall score as a snack, wargaming snack, I'm going to say 3 out of 10.
But
As a kebab,
secondary score,
when there's no secondary score,
it's just amazing.
we don't need to review it. Kebab's a kebab. It's amazing. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
It's a fact of life.
I just wanted
It's the
to.
11th commandment.
Yeah, we are Wargamers Anonymous. I just wanted to stick to our guns. And if someone were taking this as gospel and decided to order a kebab whilst wargaming and thought it was a snack whilst they were playing games, might be a little
That's
bit.
what I was saying, though. I was only arguing with you because you wanted to do 2 scores. That's not how it works.
Was it? Yeah. Well, we are just clarification.
Your
Everyone.
clarification.
Brilliant.
Ladies
There
and
you
gentlemen,
go.
there is no book club today. Shock.
Did you say butt club?
He did
Yes.
say butt club.
There's no book club either. No book club or book club today because we're all very giddy. We are all full of kebab and booze
And butt.
and butts. And this episode is likely going to be a very long one anyway. So
Right.
there is no book club.
Book club.
There's no book club.
Club.
Book club. Today. So this is the end of the podcast. Thank you very much.
At some point, we will talk about Stranger Things, but not today.
Not today.
Not today.
We'll do it on the next episode because it's just going to be us.
Very.
It will be.
Yeah.
We'll
Very.
do it on the next one. So thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks very much for listening. Thanks very much for watching. If you have, come and watch the YouTube version of this show.
It's going to be so much better.
Massive thank you to Buffnet
Yes,
for
dude.
putting all of this together.
This is incredible.
It's insane. So, but as I said, don't get used to this because it's not going to be the new regular thing because I'm not driving 3 hours to do this every 2 weeks.
It only been an hour and a half if you drove like a proper person.
Funny comment. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. If you've enjoyed the show, leave us a like, leave us a review if you're on any of the podcasting services. Subscribe if you're over on YouTube. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought. Go and check out all our Instagrams and stuff. I will try and remember to link Buffnet's. All right, let's not bother. If you do enjoy what we're doing, subscribe and all that sort of stuff. Elston, where can people find you if they want to subscribe to you on the internet?
So you're nailing that down to like a point because usually I just waffle on about how I'm somewhere on the internet and only fans and all that stuff. But he's got me to a point now. So you can find me Elstonation on YouTube, Elstonation Minis on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. Or you can drop me a message on the Pickle Jar Discord. I'm sorry I'm not looking at everyone. I'm so engrossed in my food. You are all secondary to my wants and needs.
Wow.
Sorry.
Fantastic.
But yeah, you can find me there. If you want to talk to me, drop me a message. I might answer. Packer food. Over to you.
If you want to find me, you can find me over on my YouTube channel, which is obviously the Pickle Jar. You can find me on my live stream channel, which is Pickle Vision. Links for everything down below in the description. Or if you want to get in touch with me, the best place to get a hold of me is over on Discord. It's free to join our Discord. Yep. It's free to join our Discord. Link down below. And all the other socials about like Twitter and Instagram and all that sort of stuff.
OnlyFans.
Yep. We're going to love you and leave you. We're going to finish some kebabs. We're going to finish some drinks. And we are going to go where the night takes us. So thank you very much for tuning in. It's been an honour and a privilege.
Brothel House for Pickle.
And we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye for now.
We're supposed to end it at this point.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll edit it.